And here we go once again, 3 rounds, flyweight action in the cage. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 9 inches tall. Weighing in officially 125 3/4 pounds. His professional record stands at 10 victories, 3 defeats, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Newry, Northern Ireland, here is Damien "The Rage" Rooney. And next, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. A mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in 125 3/4 pounds and brings a record in 6 bouts of 5 victories and 1 defeat. From South Shields, England, here is Shaj "Superman" Haque. Referee in charge, Rico Mitchell.
Referee Rich Mitchell about to get this one underway. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them in the Cage Warriors flyweight division.
Let's go,
Brad
gents.
Wharton and Josh Palmer privileged to call the action for you this evening at Cage Warriors 73. Shaj Haque in the red and black, Damien Rooney in the white.
Haque immediately opening up with a double jab. He's going to be at a reach disadvantage here, but he's shown us before that he can get inside, use that head movement very effectively and get out of range again, lightning fast.
Shaj just said that this is the first time someone's kind of called him out and asked for it, so it's a new situation for him. He feels he's obviously making an impact for someone to ask for a fight with him.
Yeah, he was happy being an underdog prospect for some time, but you can only beat guys for so long before you make a bit of a name for yourself.
And to beat a guy like Martin McDonough, incredibly talented young man, Shaj Haque did indeed make a massive statement. Damien Rooney too, making a big statement on his Cage Warriors debut with a big submission win over Brian Crichton.
Stop. Time. Over there. You all right? You sure?
And referee
Let's
Rich
go,
Mitchell
Simon.
briefly calling time. An errant low blow there, but we're good to go. Nice short right hook from Shaj Haque there. Left hand lands.
It'll be interesting if it starts going deep. How Damien Rooney, especially with that extra weight cut, responds to that extended time frame. We know Shaj Haque can keep up quite a work rate for the full 15 minutes.
He really does look huge for a flyweight.
I think I was told he cut from somewhere around 142 pounds down to 125. No doubt he'll have rehydrated back up.
And that was
to
just,
that region.
Just in the last few days, he did a huge weight cut. And we're about to see if the risk and reward of that situation will go in Damien Rooney's favour. Solid start from both young men. Just whipping their shots in that exchange.
It's incredible how low Haque carries his hands most of the time. They're really ready to, almost ready to grapple at any moment as well as throw a punch. Neither of these two with a particularly traditional boxing guard.
Shaj trying to throw the fastball there, came up just short. Nice right hand from Damien Rooney though. We'd love to hear your predictions for this and the rest of our fights this evening at Cage Warriors 73. Use the hashtag CWSC73 at Cage Warriors on social media. Another huge Cage Warriors event coming your way in just 2 weeks' time. From London, England, the Copper Box Arena, 2 huge world title fights.
Bit of fancy footwork from Shaj Haque there, and then just closing the distance quickly.
Closely contested first round so far. Just under 2 minutes to play.
Rooney keeps switching his stance. I was just going to say, watch him throw that left kick. Haque has a habit of ducking down to his right side with his head movement. Expect Rooney to bring a kick up to meet it.
Shaj almost offering his head there with his hands down. We wondered about the game plan of Shaj Haque, Josh, and it seems pretty clear thus far. He's out to strike rather than grapple. Final minute of the first round. Nice left hook there from Shaj Haque. Rooney landing 2. And they're both just a little off with their accuracy in these exchanges. You have a lot of whiff shots here. Perhaps need to be a little bit more conservative, pick them a little bit better as the fight wears on. Nice body kick from Haque though. Right hand land from Shaj Haque.
They're just clipping behind the ear.
Time. Over there.
And Rich Mitchell calling time, and it appears that Shaj Haque has been caught low for a second time in this fight.
Yeah. Completely accidental. There's so much movement going on in these exchanges.
Final 10 seconds of the round.
Both guys finding it a little hard to cleanly make the targets out.
Stop!
And that's all she wrote for the first frame. Closely contested contest there, Josh.
Yeah, it really is. I've got to be honest, I'm struggling to see who got the better of it. Let's see if the replays can give us a better idea.
Shaj moving in there, landing a little kick to the body. Nice right hand there. Rooney just a little bit less accurate in these exchanges. Head kick landed though. There's been the punches of Rooney that have just been going slightly wide of the mark on many occasions.
It is a very interesting movement pattern from Shaj Haque. Very tough to figure out.
His brother Shaj Haque there giving instructions in the corner. And we are just about ready
Let's go,
to get the second round of this flyweight contest underway. Damien Rooney, Shaj Haque. Trying to make a statement in the Cage Warriors flyweight division. And we are rapidly approaching our main event, folks, the trilogy fight. Warburton versus Ray, the third and final time. Lightweight title on the line. A nice right hand from Damien Rooney there.
A good counter shot, and of course Haque with the reach at his disadvantage is the one who's got to put himself in danger first. Rooney again switching his stance back and forth.
That awkward movement of Haque.
A lot of feints coming now as well.
Right hand just grazed the chin of Damien Rooney there.
Surprised he hasn't gone back to the well on those right low kicks yet. Landed a couple of good ones early.
And it's Rooney instigating the grappling up against the cage. Unexpected turn of events there. Haque turns off, separates, creates some space to reset. And we'll get straight back down to business. A lot of fakes and feints with the hands, as you say, Josh. Trying to bait Damien Rooney into something. Rooney just pulling back on the jab there. Going to be a very, very tricky couple of rounds for our judges to separate. Oh, and a nice right hand from Rooney there. That was a nice clean shot from the Irishman. Probably his best punch of the fight so far. Let's see if he can follow up and capitalize now.
It's always going to take a little bit of time to settle into a bout like this, but once you figure out the rhythm, figure out a bit of the timing, you just gain confidence that you can land those strikes. They tend to come with a little bit more frequency.
Yeah, you have to give it to Shaj Haque at this fairly early stage in his career still. He's not taking the easy route. He's been taking very tough fights against very tough guys from the get-go. Damien Rooney also been in there with some phenomenal talent. Rooney with a small cut on the bridge of the nose. Not going to cause any problems though. Straight left from Rooney, switches his stance. Left hook from Shaj there, inside kick from Rooney. They really are mixing it up with the strikes now. Fancy footwork from Haque. Cage Warriors legend Jimmy Wallhead still to come this evening. He takes on Juan Manuel Suarez in our co-main event of the evening before the lightweight title fight.
Still getting a lot of movement from Haque, but he's got to start landing with a bit more frequency. It's very hard. Oh, and a good takedown entry. Haque looking for the guillotine. Oh, and he's on it.
Tight.
Yeah, he's on it deep enough for Damien Rooney to have to accept to pull guard.
And Haque not letting him up here. Jumping in with a punch. Rooney looking to grab the ankle, and Shaq just steps out and beckons his man back to the feet. 1 round and change still to go here.
I was just going to say, I'm starting to think if Shaj Haque's got to maybe take a little bit more risk, a few more combinations, because he's not landing with quite as much frequency as I think he would like. And he is one of, he's one of those fighters who, if they have a game plan, he will stick to it, no matter what it is. And sometimes, they do need to be changed up and adjusted as the fight goes on. Something that comes with experience.
Well, that's arguably what put him in trouble a lot of times against Paul Marin. He was constantly clinching up with Marin and trying to wrestle him, and he was suplexed out of his boots pretty much every time. We saw a lot of Air Marin that night. Perhaps needs to switch up a little bit here.
That's a bit better. He's really landing some good damage on the face of Damien Rooney now. That lead hand, finding the target a few times.
And they're just telling Shaj to calm down a little there, maybe a bit of frustration creeping in. 3rd and final round still to come as we take a look back at some of the action from the second. Shaq stepping in with that left, but taking 2 by way of recompense. Kick to the outside of the leg there from Haque, and Rooney attacking the inside.
This was a good takedown entry, but you see immediately Haque threatens the guillotine and got right under the throat. And Rooney had to just capitulate the position to try and regain some form of grip.
Looked very, very tight indeed, and just dislodged when they hit the mat. But you don't get anything for nearlies. Shaj Haque and Damien Rooney will go 1 more round.
Let's go, gents.
Well, this is where we're going to see if the fitness is going to pay off.
It has to be said, Josh, that Shaj Haque was a huge, huge underdog earlier today with the bookmakers. I believe one of the biggest, if not the biggest, underdog on either of our main cards this evening.
And he did close as still a slight underdog in this one.
Certainly not as big of a gap as the bookmakers suggested earlier in the week, but Damien Rooney perhaps just doing a little bit better work on the feet right now.
And I honestly think this is the time in the fight when, Shaj Haque's phenomenal cardio and work rate is probably going to start to see him through a bit more here. Might see a few more shots landing with success.
Fought technical battle here on the feet at Cage Warriors 73. Just eyeing his man up. Back looking for an opening. Haque faking the kick there. We've seen a lot of those fakes and feints from the man from South Shields. Fights under both the British and Bangladeshi banner. Rooney, of course, representing Northern Ireland.
Good body kick up the open side from Haque. As we said, it's the end of the second round. He has a game plan, he will stick to it. Expect to see another 3 minutes of this from Shaj Haque.
Really does to sling that right hand in there. Fell just short with it. A little bit of gamesmanship from Shaj Haque there, giving his leg a little bit of a rub. Flashing a smile at Damien Rooney. Just trying to throw his man off slightly. Head kick there, just missed. Nice piercing jab. Haque perhaps turning it up a little bit here, Josh, as you mentioned. Taking advantage of that superior cardio. Both men going for it here, Josh. A right hand from Haque lands.
The lead hand from Haque is finding the target more often than not.
Really keeping the gloves in the face of Rooney is Shaj Haque right now. Rooney coming back though, advancing on his man up against the cage. Getting ourselves a little bit of a scrap here. Final 2 minutes of the third round.
Well, you can really see a lot of damage on the face of Damien Rooney now. Not really any showing on Shaj Haque at all.
Well, Rooney does have that pale complexion, which does obviously, visibly mark up. But it's safe to say that the hands of Shaj Haque have found a home a few times in the face of the Northern Irishman. Of course, damage not one of the criteria under the unified rules of effective striking scored. Rooney trying to box his man off against the cage. Haque, though, able to stay out of danger. 1 minute to go in the third and final round. And one of these men really stick a fork in this one in the final 60 seconds. Rooney walking his man down. Shaj with the high kick.
Again, you can see a lot of pounce in the footsteps of Shaj Haque. Doesn't even really look too tired.
You get the impression that he's kind of a guy built for a 5-round fight, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always interesting, this in the second fight, we haven't seen Shaj Haque really grapple at all, which, is total contrast to all his other appearances.
Picking up the pace here in the final seconds of the round. Final 10 seconds. Haque lands a couple of solid shots there, Josh. Tries the head kick, doesn't land it. Rooney advancing, and it's all over.
As we said, third round work rate from Shaj Haque absolutely went through the roof. Definitely took that third round. Interesting to see what the judges do with the other two, but just looking at the face of Damien Rooney, he certainly does look considerably worse for wears.
Let's take a look at some of the action from the third round. Nice kick across the ribs there from Shaj Haque. And these shots just not landing cleanly enough. Solid left there though.
That's it, nearly all the shots were little scuffing shots, marking up shots, glancing blows. Very few shots really landed completely cleanly and flush. That left hook did.
And they really did turn up the volume towards the end of that third and final round. We have a decision. We'll throw it to Joe Martinez in the cage to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards, and all 3 judges have it 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, Shaj Superman Haque!
All 3 rounds pounds on all 3 scorecards to Shaj Superman Haque. Improves his record to 6-1 with arguably the biggest win of his career over Damien the Rage Rooney. And now it's time for our co-main event, folks. Jim Wallhead and Juan Suarez.